Hey, good morning, everybody. Just gearing up here a bit, checking out some of the news. Um, so yeah, the general news today, because so yesterday's debacle, right? I added to a position rather than get out of a closed position, so I made a recap video about that, how I recovered. And yeah, that was just stupid. I was just really tired. I'm a little more rested today, but just part of it. I think a lot of it is I don't. Um, how do I word this correctly? But I'm not super concerned about the amount of share size and funds that I trade. I'm concerned about you guys and trying to make the trades correct. The what I call. I'm very concerned about that. But am I overly super concerned about if I lose $500 or something? No, I'm not. And the share size is so low that I sometimes I don't do my due diligence and double checking what I might have just pressed. Also, I'm still trading pre-market with hotkeys, so I'm constantly giving myself a message to push buttons or hotkeys. And then also there are different alerts that let me know when I'm still in a position. If I were to change to another stock, I get an alert on Lightspeed, but I don't on Thinkorswim, which is kind of stupid, like, hey, you have an open position or whatever. And I don't have it separated off my screen showing. There's a lot of things I could have done to not, just to assume human error is going to happen. And then, hey, stuff to double check. Do appreciate the email I got telling me to check my position. I did not see that email till much later, obviously. But anyway, I got out of it and made a little bit of money, which I showed in the replay video yesterday that I've been trying to get out the same day. And just if there's some confusion, I don't go positive on that account every day by swing trading. I do the exact same strategy. I just have to spend more time. It's kind of like a grind for me to get back in there and make $100, $200, $300. A lot of times I feel like I'm kind of wasting the time, but I'm keeping it under the parameters that we trade to show that it is possible, even when you make mistakes and human error, that if you learn to scalp correctly and follow your rules, you should be pretty green every day. Obviously, stuff can happen, but if you just allow yourself the time. But a lot of people don't want to spend 2 hours sitting there, focusing in on short-term trades, and you go bug-eyed and you get decision fatigue, and you only want to spend a half hour, 45 minutes. That's the way I normally feel. But I come back after another trading session and reinvigorated with coffee and rest or whatever it might be, and then I'm feeling okay for another half hour, 45 minutes or an hour, and I can usually work way out of it. The other problem with doing it later is that the market's much slower, so it takes longer to get it with that lower share size. So you're working twice as hard to get the money, but you also can't make the mistakes as big on when the market's slower too. But anyway, so I got out of it, and as always, I don't want to jinx myself, and that worked out pretty good. But that was what a mess. So we're still on this terrible week that typically no one should be trading. I feel like just not trading today, honestly. I mean, we'll get a look at it, but this is a terrible week to trade with all this information coming out. You might want to, at the very least, lower your share size if you just want to keep active. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at the price action of the market and see if there's anything. I might try to take an open trade, but it's really hard to even figure out bounces at the open. I mean, the open's almost impossible to figure out anyway. So, oh, sorry. My old jazz ring. Had that turned on for alarm purposes, notification purposes. But anyway, I lost my train of thought there, but because I saw who the message was coming from. Well, anyway, so yeah, it's just a tough week to trade, and you want to be very careful. So, general update on the news is the SPY is slightly bearish today. They think the QQQ is slightly bearish, but mostly both of those are mostly neutral. Nvidia, let's see. It says avoid chasing it. AMD is slightly, it's neutral on Nvidia. AMD is slightly bearish. Tesla is neutral. Apple is neutral. Amazon is neutral. PLTR is, you can try, it says try a bounce here, but it's fragile. Because that everybody's been saying that's been overvalued. Hood is neutral. So yeah, the main ones that we look at the scanner, and I've changed the scanner a bit to, I wanted to make sure I had the open and the close. And the reason I switch this, and this is stuff that you can just set up yourself if you've picked up this one for $4.99. This is the special coded one. Let me just go in here and show you. So it's got all the special codes that give you the 100,000 volume, and it picks the stocks that only have 100,000 volume over a 1 minute candle on a 10-day average or 1-day average. And then how it also has this code in here, how far you are from the high. So these are very, very helpful in the moment. You might want to have it detached like I do, put it on a watch list. And then I quickly have been looking to see, and the scanner doesn't show it on this, but I've been quickly looking to see how much we've moved from the close. That's going to show you your pre-market. It's flat here like on Nvidia, but look, it's gone down since then. So it's going down right now. And then this is my swing position, which is sad. It's going down right now. So I will hold this swing that I have right now that's really hurting me, thousands of dollars on this account that we're trading. I will hold it till after the news and look for a rebound. But if this thing starts to plummet into like the 140s, I'm just going to get out and take my whatever it is, a huge hit. And I don't really count this as the scalping strategy that we're learning. It is on the same account though. So I don't know how you want to look at it. If you want to say that's not fair, in the end, then it just depends on how much money you make, really. But I'm still trying to trade too, guys. This is the other one, the 50,000 one. And it has a few different stocks, and it goes to 20 deep. Actually, so does the other one. There just isn't enough of them. This one picked up a few more. We've never really gone this deep. Usually when we switch, that price action's so slow on the level 2 that it seems untradeable. I mean, harder to trade for short time frame scalping. If you want to stay longer and trade, then you can hold them longer. Almost 5-minute trades, is what I find. But let's go ahead and get a look. So we'll take a look at Nvidia first. It's a big mess. Looks like I did a trade there. I set up a price target. It's a terrible spot right now. Or not a useless spot. So I didn't even see that it went that low. I definitely did not see it go that low. That's amazing that it went that low. I wasn't really watching it all of yesterday. So that's not correct then. Yeah, neither of these are correct. So these are just, let's just clear the drawing set. Much time do I have? I have enough time to correct this. So I don't know the way this is moving. Again, we shouldn't even be trading it. Honestly, guys, we should just not be trading this. But I'll try to do something for entertainment purposes if there's anything we can do at all. But I advise against it, the way that really, really hard to predict, even for scalpers today. It's very hard. Very, very short-term moves is all you can get, right? It's just the unknown factor. I was trying to get all the news I could this morning on anything. Now you could try a completely different strategy with a different stock and all that, and there's some thought about that, but I mean some logic in that, but I just trying to change horses from this strategy. There's our fibs. I mean, we do have a pretty strong channel in this area if we get back to here, but we dropped, and now we're here. Are we going to drop down and make a channel here? Is it just going to leave? Is it going to shoot up based on what people are saying today before Powell speaks? They've been interviewing on CNBC. How does this one look? After the lack of confidence went down to 142. A lot of people are watching this to see if it's going to, because it was there 190, to see if it's just going to come right back, and they want to jump on it. And then other people are very concerned that it's nowhere near its bottom because it was so overvalued in the first place. Who decides whether it's 5 times, 10 times, 20 times X their value? I mean, who really calls that? I don't trust the sources. So all of this can be read so many different ways. It's just, again, that's when I go back to, after years and years of doing this, if you're going to day trade, it's just doing those swings and all the, you watch all these videos where they say you just go in here when it hits here and you go up. Now, if you go back and you look at charts to what that person says, I watched one video that Charlie gave me and said, look how many views this guy has and how many subscribers he has. And then look what he says. And so I was watching, he would say something like how simple and easy the strategy is. And he would point to, this is a great strategy. And he makes his own little names for things or whatever. He's a great marketing guy, right? And then he says, when it gets here, you go here. See how it works? See how simple? It's like, okay, now go back and check that with 50 stocks on 50 days and see that works maybe 10% of the time. So you can cherry pick a strategy. That's the thing I loved about the RV strategy, was that the criteria to pick it up wasn't just based on a pattern. It had to be in a zone, in a range, and then a range you could count on for the most part on a fairly regular basis. So that strategy wasn't just a pattern, buy this here when this happens here, when it breaks this VWAP, or when it hits this fib, or when it hits, it's all of that combined. And then you're getting a 60, 70, 80% more accuracy. And even then, as the book says, traders would say, well, you can't count on anything. Back to Mark Douglas. You can't count on anything. So you have to be able to move quick. But these people, then they end up, and the guy's selling a course, of course, so they end up buying the guy's course thinking that he's got it all figured out through his 20 years of experience. But what he's showing you is a cherry-picked chart. And I promised when I started my YouTube channel that I was never going to get into it, so I'll never mention names about people. But the only thing I would say beware of anybody that says they got it and you just have to do this, and then do a little bit more research. Just anything I say, do more research on what I say. Find out for yourself, does this really make sense? Because you're the last line of defense for yourself. You have to do so. You can't just be handed to you. Unfortunately, everybody, it's so easy. Oh, well, I'll just do that. You listen to some of those momentum traders are just so well. When it dips here and you see the second green candle on the breakout, that's when you go in. Sometimes, sometimes that works really well, and other times it doesn't. So it's just, there is no answer, exact answer. Wouldn't that be great, right? So you have to use all your knowledge as you get it for every trade, and reassess every trade. But anyway, so on this one, we did the 2 fibs. I don't know. Again, I hesitate to mark any historical data. I guess it's the first time I've said it. I'm marking the fibs, but we're way off where it was, so historical data is just senseless on this one. Plus the week that we're in, Apple. I mean, everything's dropped. So any kind of positive news, we should expect a big rebound. You know, I mean, this historical data is decent. Yeah, those are based on real open session levels that may come into play. We could adjust these fibs on Apple, I guess. Is our high the same? No, so it's going from a low down here. Oh, okay, so hang on. So that's a real low. So let's bring this up to 216.58. Oh, I did the wrong level. Oh, that was this level. Wow. Oh, no, that's right. 100%. Okay. Again, it's almost senseless to do any of this stuff right here. I'm just going to get rid of this. Do I sound defeated? I don't know. I just don't think people should be trading much. I think you should, work on, other things that you want to work on to help your setup, your layout, or you should watch a whole bunch of my videos today. That's what you should do. So I might as well just look at the short-term 5-minute because this just goes to a void of nothing. Or does it actually? Because that fib was marked. Yeah, does this actually show us anything back here? No. I mean, they're resting on this fib, the 50%, and a little bit below it, which is right here. So there is a little bit of action where we're at right now from not that long ago, right into here. Or here, yeah. No, here, yeah, right in here. It's a fibs pick it up, though, really. Is this the 10-day? Yeah. So let's go to Hood. Did I do Hood already? I don't think I did Hood. Oh, my God. Okay, so that was from us trading Hood yesterday. Those would not be good historical data levels. Kind of bounced off these two fibs in here. But this fib wouldn't be here anymore. It's a high. Again, I look at this and I just go like, I don't know why. What's the point of marking this? Because I don't think I can respect it, with the way that the stuff's moving right now. In the pending news situation. More like I got 6 minutes to figure out if I want to try anything at the open. Seems like Nvidia's starting to come back up. It had just dropped. Apple closed. Interesting. It closed it when it went up. Let me take a look at Apple again here. No. Okay. So, yeah, this kind of threw me. I was looking at the open close. So seems like it's trying to rebound here today. This might be an interesting one to set the fib for a buy and try to get a short positive trade out of this one. Let's see, Nvidia. Yeah, that's just, boy. I wouldn't want to trust a long, although if you went in long, it's showing you you'd set your on the ladder, a ways up to see if is it going to rebound. I don't think anything's going to make big moves today. But who knows, right? Something just takes a couple of words from somebody to change everything. But it may try to get back down here. This might be an interesting one to trade. We'll have to see open. I think for the opening, which is, like I always say, is incredibly risky and you shouldn't do it anyway. Remember, I am not a licensed financial advisor, so seek the advice of someone licensed before you try to copy or emulate anything I do here. You will see me trade differently than other people if you've learned from the same rigmarole that's put out and just parroted by other traders. I go into only 25% of my position, and I will average in. If it's gone against me but then is working back toward my position, I will try to speed that process up and make more money, always mindful of how much I'm willing to lose, like the max loss. And of course, all these other things are mostly put here for people that are new that might just read this, but you need your own trading plan. Okay. So in the morning here, what I'm going to do is we're trading a range-bound strategy, and then we're going to scalp on short-term moves and try to create levels that might be helpful. And it's a tall order today to do that. So let's get this open. So I'm going to look for something to do really quick here on the ladder. Now, I use a lot of prop firm indicators that I have gotten to be available over at the $1 Million Margin Club that are all like really a lot of them proprietary. Used to be you'd never be able to get these kind of things, but now I have made it so you can get these things, and they're really cool. And you'll see me call them out from time to time on here, why I'm watching them, why they're here. So along with the scalping strategy and being careful in and out of your trades, the indicators are another thing that helps you besides just watching price action and getting a feel for reading that level 2 data. So if it doesn't break this, there it goes. This is what I hate, right? It takes away the move before the market opens. So it's just like, So is it going to break the next fib? So 2226.50 might be a spot to go in on the ladder. I better get it marked now just in case. If it passes that, is it going to pass it? It's going to pass it right now. So these ladder trades become impossible based on the price action just prior to there it is right there. So it's so close that that little spike to pick it up might not really be a wise thing, because then it could flush. I'm just worried about the flush right at, like it's taking, it's knocking everybody out right now before all the market orders come in. So, but I'll leave that there and be prepared to make sure I'm not on pre-market still. Okay. So we got 45 seconds, guys. Seems like we have the usual suspects here. Have some people joining me on Zoom as well. Good luck, everybody, today. Again, I recommend not trading, and I recommend not doing this candle. How's that for advice? But if you're like me and you just like to be in the game, then be careful. And we shouldn't expect Apple to do a huge move if it picks me up. So it didn't pick me up. That's what saves me by going above it's going to pick me up though. Look at the level 2. I saw the level 2, like it's going to pick me up. Do I really want it to? No, I don't. Jeez. Oh God. Yeah, I was afraid it was just too close to it. So bad trade. Now I got to dig a hole if I keep letting this go. I kind of want to wait for the rest of this 1 minute to see if it rebounds. But yeah, it's getting worse. $11 seconds for me to decide, do I want to go in half position or get out for a bad trade right at the end? This is why I said don't do this. This was stupid. Is it going to turn around? I'm looking at see if it breaks the 25.50. It did. No, it's not solid enough for me to add to the position, so I'm just going to get out for an $85 loss. I don't trust it, so it might rebound. But yeah, so that was why you don't do the opening candle. Now, do I want to consider to continue to wait for this stock to consolidate? Probably not, because its action is so slow. Do you think I looked at this a few times to see if I was out? Too early. I mean, we have one shot here, right? And I called it wrong. And it's a 50-50. That ladder trick was just too close. I should have probably pulled it up to the whole dollar up here and said, well, if it breaks that, then we know it's going long, probably going more long. But it just snapped it and then went straight down. It was way too close to the position. Had this position been down here, then it could have been a good trade. I would have got in and, picked it up, because it probably wouldn't have moved like that. I'm just still watching it, but I'm thinking that we're going to go over here and we're going to look at this for more consolidating type of trades. And see what this looks like. Wow, Nvidia went up, huh? Look at that. I thought Apple was the more conservative one to do what I did. Look at Nvidia go. Well, we could chase it. Not advisable. Keep this at 100 shares as well. Look at it go. So that's interesting. Do we have more news? Yeah, it says Nvidia is one that's going to be moving today. Have we missed our opportunity? All right, I'm looking to get into this on a pullback. That close to the 76. I'll try it there. 76.03.05. I got it at. We've got a little mountain to climb to get that Apple loss. Of course, it's just stalling now the second I get in it. I'll take some baby steps if I get a chance. That could be it. I think I got in at its high. Not doing good today. Stick to your max loss, guys. Just not a week we should be trading. I'm trying to force something. This is above the magnet, which is good, so that should give us a slight bump up. Just pulled it back down. 05 at the 50 cents. There's $50 exactly at the 50 cents, because I'm right at the. Oh, it's still dropping. Now it's dropping. Man, I'm gonna have another day. I got to dig out. And what a day to dig out! It's not a good day to try to dig out of this stuff. Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna go into half position based on that move. Don't fade off. You were doing great. I'm just going to get out for anything here. Yeah, there we go. Kind of felt lucky there, honestly. I just don't have confidence to break it, but it did. Look at that triple tweezer there, huh? That's right above the... Right, was right in my... That's my exact position that I had. No wonder I felt panicked. So this is interesting. It's too soon to pick a consolidation level, but wow, huh? 4 bodies stopped the exact same spot. A lot of people don't want it to go by that level. Oh, its action here is going to pull it up. So it broke it. This time it really broke it. So we're up to 24. I think I would tend to short. I'm going to play this a little. Well, it's a little soon to try that, actually. We're only 7 minutes in. I was thinking about, trying the short, long, but we don't really have a channel yet. It started to make one here, but then it just broke it. So I don't have confidence that it's going to fade off either the $0.50 or the fib level. Again, remember, these fib levels are suspect themselves because of how much the stocks moved. We don't have good consolidating action on this. It's really doing some big swings outside of its ATR levels. There's our ATR high on the RV strategy. Yeah, the other actual high is way up here. So buy a dip and wait for a retracement, or get into a short at this fib level. And the 50 cents. It's hitting the fib twice, broke it. Man, it's still going up. I'm not going to short that. You just got to wait a minute, guys, and just see if we can get any kind of... It's just a little bit more action than I thought we might get. Once again, had I not taken the first trade, I'd be in a much better starting position. And there's other days where it's like, $300, you made your goal. As far as excitement, it's kind of the only real excitement in this style of trading is to try something you just don't know as much what's going to happen. It's just like, it's the gamble feel to trade those opening candles. Or you do like bring in 1,000 shares and go like, okay, I'm excited now for this strategy. Became very excited if I have 1,000 or 2,000 shares. Yeah, so it did basically drop off the 50 cent and the fib up here. I mean, but it's not, that's a reversal sign, but it's really early to give it any real credence. 15 minutes just straight up, 5 minutes straight up looking. So the buyers dropped a lot on the Scalp Pro meter. You have a 38 cents target up and 24 down, so it's still saying very long biased here. You just take all these into account. Look at the overall time increment alignments. Just everything's green. The SPY's green. QQQ's green. How did everybody do from the open? Tesla went up. AMD's flat. Hood went up. Palantir went down. Apple went down. So, and this is actually down from the, no, Nvidia's up from the open. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Palantir. Yeah, so Nvidia's up $1.50. Nvidia. Wow. I'm just very tempted to get it. I'm going to go ahead and get in on a long there, thinking that it's trying to fight its way back. like to get a double digit. Yeah, got some money there. Slowly but surely. Here's back where I was pressing buy again. The more that it pounds down there, the better price I would want. So the even dollar I'm looking at now, I got it at 93. It took to fill 100 shares. Yeah, let's. Is this the beginning of its retracement? I should take a smaller little gain here. There, that's some money. MACD's sending it down, so let's keep a close eye on this. Or is it just going to go straight up here and go back up? Again, we're really early to try to pick patterns or consolidation on channels. So I'm doing real short-term based, mostly on level 2 and what's on my indicator. This is indicator trading I'm doing right now, more than level trading. The even dollar didn't hurt to have that right there, you know. But it's not exactly soaring up. So I'd like to go up, then go back down, and then we can really feel like we're starting to get something as we cross this, because we just crossed the 11th minute. So we're kind of in the area where I'd start. This target oscillator is more correct now. It's still got the skew from the open messing it up. But so this is a reversal sign here that it's going to turn around on the 1 minute, but it keeps pounding right at the even dollar. I'm going to give it a chance to break it in case it wants to. Yeah, 5 minutes big and red over there. So now you've got a fib level here. No new news. Just the same non-news where everybody's got their breath held. Went all the way down like to 79 cents here, 76 cents. So I really don't want to jump in it now to go long. This is telling me, though, it's about to go up. See this coming in? So we see this magnet pull up. Yeah, it's dry. It kind of stalled. I'm getting ready to buy the bid here, guys. I'm liking the signs of the potential reversal. There's 3 levels. I'm going to try to get in there. Yeah, I didn't get it. I tried to get it at 86. It's still sitting here. I was waiting for it to pick it up. I missed. It looks like I missed the move. All right, I'm going to cancel that and wait to see if I can get a better dip. See the magnet pulled up. There it goes. I just missed that by a hair, boy. That would have been a 30-cent move in a split second. I missed it. Saw it coming. You saw me call it, and I just couldn't get in it. I should have gone market maybe, especially since the spread's so tight here. That was a strictly market magnet and level 2 call there. Target's still higher on the shorts, which is interesting. That did a flip right in the middle of I don't want to take a trade area. But this looks like one maybe to scalp. Let's see if it keeps its consistent channeling here. Okay, so is it going to stair step down, or is it going to try to get back up there again? I don't see the same data to jump in right here on a long. Had a great move there, almost 40 to 50 cents a second ago. Momentum, that's the momentum indicator saying it's going down. So it broke the 9, the 14. There's the VWAP. Yeah, it's definitely worth waiting a second here. So now, as we get to the half dollar, yeah, I'm gonna take a chance there for not just a straight fall off here, but let's see. You got to push the envelope. You know, you gotta risk a little to make the money. There's the open. No new news hit. It took away my profit, so definitely not opposed to adding to this position if it starts to show signs of recovering. And there they are right there. I kind of missed the spot where I would maybe add. Watching twice. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I added. And I might just get out of market because I want to make sure I get out. Definitely looked like it was going to go up there on the swale. That's why I did that. But it's now stalling a bit. It's 5 cents off my position. Let's hope that fib stops this from wanting to hurt me, or even the even dollar here. Oh, come on, Apple. Let's not, Nvidia, let's not do this. Let's not fade today. People want you to go up. And half my position size, and it's getting worse here. Goes. No, I thought about going full position size, but I'm just so close to my position that it's not worth it. All right, I got out sooner because I don't trust it. I really want to see it make a channel. Unless this is a big channel. That was a pretty big drop from what it had been doing. So got a recovery out of it, but I relowered my share size back to my quarter position. Yep, so staying in it would have been better, the good old RV way. Shorting up into this area, I would look to short. And I would look to go long way down here. So we have some time to wait. 174, 175 maybe, go long. And then go short at 176.50 maybe, or maybe, if you can go short, if it goes this high all the way to the ATR high. No, I'm sorry, that's the market magnet high. So we're at the magnet now, right where it's supposed to be. We're almost split on the this just keeps going back and forth, but sellers just took over big time there. We're not seeing the volume increase per candle at all. It's actually slowly dropping. So it went from 800 down to 500,000. So we're losing, there's a lot of people that jumped out or are just standing by like I am, waiting for something. We're in the middle of nothing here. We're on a 50-cent mark. I wouldn't want to take a trade here, so I will not. This is what you do. You just slowly climb. Stick to your max loss. Try not to get it so you can't make, $1 or $2 swings, that you're okay making that kind of a swing without hitting your max loss. That means lower your share size if you can't do that kind of a swing. It's right now letting us know what kind of a swing to expect, and it's about $2 between the two fibs if you look at them. So you should adjust your share size accordingly so you can traverse the whole move. And most likely it will retrace and you won't get hit, Even at the opening is where that fib is, so that you could call that the opening level too. So that's a pretty strong level to hold if we went long off that. Anywhere at 175, 174, 50, 74, 75. That would be a great long position to take. Then up here, our high is right up here. It's like that smoothing it is about right there. So anywhere in there would be a good channel trading to go short. But here, you might be catching these. I don't know if you're trying it. But they're just not giving us a definitive thing. So we have that is a bull flag being created here. So let's see. It's not much of a flag, but if this passes it, does another one, then I won't get in it still. I'll wait for it to get here to go short. I want to go short off of this. I'm looking for a retracement off of this. Well, there you go. We got some positive news. That came out at 9:50. That was 1 minute ago. So we can expect that this should go up if we buy a dip here. I think I will. I'm going to try to just get in there just below the... Now, sometimes this news takes a bit, and you have to be ready to do this, what I'm doing, watching it move. It won't necessarily do it. So I said I wasn't going to get in here for this kind of a reason, but I saw that news come in, and I thought, well, it'll take a minute, but people should see it. I thought it might just take off, so I wanted to get in the play. That's my old swing trading strategy. But it seems like people are starting to read the news now. So we want to break the fib, and then we want to go up here. I don't like that this price action is below the magnets. That's pulling it down. And we want to see some price action coming up here. Target on the longs is taken over. Meter is all green. 90%, 93. And we're at the top of the volume candle. So signs are that we're going to get a decent trade here. This just pulled the magnet up, so let's let it go up a little higher. I still will take profit up in the double digits here just to, and then reassess. See, because of that. And then reassess, not get over greedy. Should have just probably taken it up there. It's being fickle to see this, so... It's 50, 55. I'm looking at my level 2, deciding if it's going to swale up, if I want to add as it goes up. Really, guys, the news should affect you a little bit more than what's happening. Just got to be patient here. Here's a bottom, right? So, yeah, 74.79. So here's where we kind of came in. So we can make it down to there. We're okay. That's why I don't want to add yet. It's swaling up twice now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a chance there. It's a big chance, but I see the movement turning. I would have liked a little more confirmation, but I got down to a 78 cents, so here, so a much better price point if it pops up to this fib. There, we're almost to my position. People are reading the good news. It's going to soar upward. Get up here. Get up in here. There's some green for a split second. You know you want to go up, guys. You don't want to fade. Man, the level 2 says down. The indicators say up. What a day. It's just hard to read with this whole nonsense going on in Jackson Hole. Nope. Here's a gradual stepping down on the 5-minute. If you look at the bigger picture, it's like, why did you take that trade? Because of this news is why I took that trade. And we're in a basic center of the channel, so, you know, that's $1 off my position down here, so I don't really want it to go down there now, like it's doing. Just got to be patient. Stay on target. Unless you hit your max loss. I'm not opposed to going into full position here, so. I won't swing it though, I'll just take a loss. It's unfortunately every one that it is less likely that it will turn around, you know, anytime soon. So, and I'm stuck here without being able to take a trade. My best advice was don't trade today. If I go red this morning, I'll probably just post this red. I don't think I want to come back in and try to make it green and go through the pain and time. All those that you just want to see me show a red day, you know, this could be it if it doesn't cooperate. Yeah, so we're getting close to this fib. Now we've gotten the buy-sell oscillator turning around, the risk oscillator's turning it around. The volume increased though as it's going down, which isn't good. The scalp pro meter is saying go up here. So there's a turnaround sign here, but is it really strong enough? The even dollar's right there. Oh boy, is it going to break that even dollar? It did. It did again. So it's going from bad to worse. So you might see me take a hit here. I don't think I want to follow it past the fib here, so past the open. So I'll just take the hit, and it'll be a losing trade. I really thought we had it here. There it goes. So that was 79. So okay, I'm gonna get out. So that's a bad trade. You saw it. You saw it here. Take a picture. And can I call this to go short? No. I just don't have enough to go on here. Hopefully most of you took the advice and just didn't trade. And then wherever there's a loser like me, there's a winner somewhere there. So that's two stocks that didn't do well for me. You know, I thought about this too, being as low as it was, that it's just like I can't count on this to come back up today because it was all the way down here. So it's like I could be at its high area here. So, you know, I just, there's our pre-market low right there, 73.77. Yeah, that's why I got out. I was remembering this, and I was just like, don't write it down. Don't write it down. Just don't make it into a swing. Just get out because that's short money still. So, but in what we're doing, that takes a while to recover without increasing the share size to like 800 or 1,000, which is a way I would get out of it for a couple, 2 or 3 trades. Yeah, I'm just glad I got out because it's just going from bad to worse. I don't really see anything here to trade that makes me feel better. I'm looking at all the stats across the, if you look at this list, it's just like, you know, there was our close, there's our open, here we are now, down a hair, AMD getting like ridiculously low. They say there's some support down at the 157 level for that. Tesla. I haven't looked at Tesla yet. That might be, maybe we should take a look at Tesla to see if there's any kind of a shot there. That becomes my bailout stock a lot on this strategy. You can see I traded the crap out of it yesterday. Let me remove this clear drawing set. That's how I recovered yesterday with Charlie. And let's see here, 98. Yeah, nobody's actually trading the RV strategy today, which is a wise move. But everybody likes to trade something, so a bunch of Zoom people came on with me just to see, and it gets us more about like just keeping your losses low while you get the trading out of your system. Let's see if that's smooth. That's smoothed across there a lot. That's a potential level if it pops back up. I mean, it respected it. Isn't that weird how it hit this, spiked back up just from that? That's the reason, the main reason I marked it is because it did seem to respect that level. I wouldn't have normally marked that level. Let me look at the 10-day. We got nothing beyond these days, so there's no point. So again, this is strictly intraday historical, short-term historical data. Very, very short-term historical data to try to trade this. Now, the one thing that Tesla has going for it is it really doesn't follow anything the market does, the news does. It's like its own little animal, because already Musk has destroyed the the logic of following anything. Boy, it's still right at its 50. Remember yesterday it was right at its 52. We're right at the 50 moving average. That's the daily moving average there. So it dropped below it into this fib, but then sprang back. There's that spike on the 5-minute down there that I carried over. That looks like that's legit, not a shadow wick. So interesting. Now, when you see the short-term movement, look at the overall movement. So it was as high as 324.51. And then now that I've got that all zoomed in, just want to see. So it's been as high as 341 just a couple of days ago. So if you go short, you could really be asking for it, all the way up to 348, like 5 days ago. So we're way down at its low for a while here. Something to keep in mind if you're going short here. So we'd want to maybe go short off of its higher levels, not off this fib, because this might have caught me to take a trade here and go short based on this very short-term action here. But we have a nice strong move up, although buyer's volume is going down, so you want to look at everything. Tesla stock slips. Yeah, that Nvidia was a sign that those target prices from managers just often mean absolutely nothing. Or don't look at them as day traders, because they're like longer term moves to look at. Talk to a lot of traders. They go, "How do you make money day trading?" I just watch the news in the morning, social media, CNBC. I get a feel for the way the market's going. If there happens to be a particular stock mentioned why the market's going up or down, that's the one I'll trade, short or long, just based on what is the social sentiment. And you see, sometimes I put the social sentiment on the charts. You can do that, and they make a living doing that. I mean, they do well doing that. Just because of, that's trading with the crowd. Like, what are people thinking? I'm just going to, again, it's not always accurate, just like anything, but enough accurate where they feel confident and they do it day after day after day. I was talking to this one woman that I know that her father was an investor, and that he sort of did that strategy, but he also did the fundamental analysis. She doesn't have, she's not a deep thinker. She doesn't have a lot of, financial background thinking, but she just does that strategy and now has a, multi-million-dollar house on a lake and, drives fancy cars and lives a fine life, basically just trading that way in the stock market. There's lots and lots of stories like that. I'm just looking here to see. Nobody's waiting for me at the RV, so I'll stay a little longer. I know Charlie went ahead and traded and got in the same position I did. And we're like a couple $100 down, I think. So it's not. See if I can maybe recover here or just walk away with a smaller loss today and just let it ride. More like a psychological thing. But I told myself that, be prepared to lose if you trade today. And it's almost like I'm proving a point. So that's how I'm going to reconcile this with me. And I'm going to stick with that plan. It's more like you lose a day of making money more than take a tiny hit. You just like, well, I didn't make 5,000 today either, so cross that day off. I've got to make 10,000 on the next day or whatever. You got to make it up over $6,000 over, 5 days, or because you lose a day. Feel that way about holidays too. It's just like, oh. So it did turn around up here, right at the top of the market magnet. That level was at the 2350. You want to take your time with this stock. You want to be careful with this stock for sure. Again, this week, anything. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go short off the next time it hits it either. See, so it's definitely made a bull flag. It's at the makings of a bull flag here. So if you look at that, there's the pull, there's the flag, second green candle up would mean of a continuation, possibly the length of the entire pole, which is, $2 more up to the 20, up to here, this area, if it makes a second green candle. If it followed that pattern, which is 82% accurate. That's the candlestick pattern playbook, guys. You should, if you don't own it, you should get it. I know most of you watching right now own it. It's the only one that rates it's still the only one that rates the patterns after bringing in all those other traders, which are listed in the book, all this data, all these companies. And if you some would argue you can't rate them, but enough people got behind watching how many times the patterns were accurate and what to expect that there was enough to make data, and it's pretty darn accurate. So we are making a bull flag. You have 35 seconds for this to close green, and we have an official bull flag here on a 1 minute, so it's not as strong as the 5 or 15 or 10. What happened here? There we are. Yeah, it's going to close green, so let's see what happens if it takes off. So the next candle breaks the high. That's where you'd want to jump in for a long, which is the high on that was 2349. I hesitate to chase it. Ugh, could have caught it right there, huh? I'm going to go ahead and get in it. Tried to get out right away with like a $30 profit. Yeah, now it's like fading. So it's definitely chasing it, and I didn't. Again, once again, you want to go market, but then market kills you on the spread on a stock like Tesla. I've kept it in there in case it makes a quick swale. But I'm getting ready to cancel and just sell market too if it starts to play there. It's still trying to move up. No, it's going the other way. Boy, it's just not my day, huh? Well, I played the 82% accuracy here and it didn't work. Instead, I chased a high instead of going short off the higher levels based on a pattern. There was a victory there, very short-term victory, and I didn't grab it. It didn't pick me up on the ask. So it was actually accurate, but certainly not the length of the pole. It's just like anybody who wants to trade today, we're going to slap you down. Broke the even dollar now. Come on, baby. Put the prayer indicator up. I'm all the way up at 54. It can hit that in a split second. No, that's the thing. So this is another example of it. A pattern that says it should go up. This rickshaw man right here says it should continue to do the bull flag move. I guess off that fib would be where I'd get scared if it didn't hold here. Still a very tiny loss, but it could get to be a big loss quick. This is good news here, seeing this come in. This will pull the magnet up and people are going to jump on going long. So let's see. Could add to my position if it climbs quickly here. There goes the magnet. So let's see a snap up. 16, that was a 15-cent rise. Not enough for me to go in it yet. Actually, I think I'll just wait to take profit off of what I do have. So the magnet did pull it up. Will it be enough to get me out of this? That's a fantastic indicator if you don't have it. It's called the market magnet. It's at the $1 Million Margin Club has it. Oh, come on. Don't stall at that level again. Stalling at the 50 cent. It just doesn't want to break that level. I have it at 54. Could have got out maybe green if it didn't slip. But did I travel all this way to make a buck? There it goes. Come on. I'm not going to sell the ask because I just want to get out. If it springs up real quick, I'm just going to get out for a small profit. It's taking so long to do it. Even Tesla is taking forever to make a move. Still more is coming in here to pull this magnet up. Getting ready to add to my position again, guys. I'm watching the data swing in here. Oh, I could have got out if I had added down there. $0.06 spread. Stalling at the even dollar. It's got a fib down at the 71, 322.71. Don't want to add till it turns around, that's for sure. So the only way I can do that is by market. I'm going to try that. Big risk. Get ready to sell out quick. And I'm going to get out of here in just a second. Jeez, it needs to recover. I'm just going to get out. Wow. Come on, guys. That's half share size. Or no, that's a full share size for Tesla, right? At 50 shares. So I'm in full share size. Did I start at 100 shares? I started a little high. We're supposed to be at 50 shares for this stock, right? So I'm at 23, so I'd like to wait for this to get up back to where it was and those levels it was turning around, which is in the 44 area. Nope, it's going to shake me out here a couple of times over 100, and I'm just going to get out. There was one time. And call it a bad day twice. Oh, it's just hovering below. It's right at the magnet, which is making me hold it just a hair longer. 71. There's the fib. The fib turned it around. Hit the fib again and again. Oh, I'm out. Wow. Okay, guys. That was not a good day for me. Hopefully you did better. And there it goes up. There it goes up. How many times, guys, do we see that happen? How many times? I held it just a little longer. I have no confidence in the market right now. That's why I'm not holding it like an RV. So we're going to call it a loss today, guys. I hope you did better than me. And still learning. You can learn. Big money. I would have been totally green for the day. Totally green for the day. Just a little longer off that, you know, but I was just thinking it was going to fade off. Oh, wow. Couldn't call that right. So I'm like the crowd. We make bad decisions. Making a nice channel right there. But it's a risky stock to trade, so I'm gonna leave with my tail between my legs, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. But again, tomorrow is going to be the same thing. I just don't know if anybody should trade till after we get this news, and then maybe Monday, unless you want to hold a swing into the news or something. But that's really risky. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to post this red. I'm not going to try to recover here. So I don't know. I don't want to say that 100%, but right now I'm not feeling it. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Be safe out there. Hopefully you didn't go too red today. All right. Go green.